Hey, it's Jeremy here with Red Hawk Coaching. Hope you're having a great day, and thank you for joining me to watch How to Thrive in Today's World, the Newest Basics. If you like the content of this video, make sure you give me a like. Better yet, subscribe to my channel so that you can get future videos of helpful content to help you build your business. Also, you'll find in the description below a link to access all the notes to the presentation. Thank you again, and enjoy. All right. My name is Jeremy Williams. I'm a business coach with Red Hawk Coaching, and husband, father two, got two amazing kids, one going into the ninth grade, one going into the sixth grade. Outside of that, love walking my dogs, and my connection with Keller Williams and Keller Williams Woodlands is I was a team leader there at one point. I think my reign was, we'll call it a reign, was 2012-ish to about 2015. And I've spent several years with KW. I started my career in sales in 2004 and then moved into a leadership role with the Houston Memorial Office back in 2010. Was there a couple of years, at the Woodlands, and eventually over at the Northeast office. Even spent 6 months working with Cody Gibson United Home Group, one of the big expansion teams with Gary. And back in 2017, I made the decision to launch my own coaching program. I've been coaching agents and small business owners since 2010, booking over 10,000 hours of coaching and training, and getting to help people. The motto, the mission of my business is to help people soar in business and life. So that's a little bit about me. Things you can control. We're going to start there because there's a lot of things right now that you cannot control in this world. There's only 4. And we could probably even have an argument if you can control these 4. So it's your activities. So you can choose what activities you do every single day. So in regards to business, you can choose to lead generate, or you can choose not to lead generate. There's nobody else that can choose that for you. You get to make that decision. So the activities that you're working on every day, you have that choice. If it's losing weight, going to the gym, you can choose to either sleep in because it's nice, or you can go to the gym where there's going to be a little pain, but there's some benefit to that, right? You get to choose. Number 2, what you focus on. So there's a lot of things right now in this world, and just in general, even before the pandemic and everything that's going on, the access to information is immense. You can go online and within 30 minutes, you can't even think anymore because everything is so clouded. So what are you focusing on? What are you choosing to allow into your world? I did a blog post this morning, if you want to go back to my personal Facebook page and read about weeds, right? Are we feeding the weeds in our thoughts? Or are we plucking them out? Right? Are you watching the news 24/7? Because I know I was guilty of that. Now I hardly watch it. Life gets so much better when you just don't know what's going on in the world. Mindset. Everything starts with mindset. So before you get into action, you have to actually believe that you can do something. Yes, you have to believe that you can go achieve it. Right? You get to choose your mindset. How do you build your mindset? Go read a book. Go to a great training there in your office. Go to Bold, right? I know the KW language. Go to Bold. It's Bold Pivot now. I'm sorry. Go to Bold Pivot now. You get to choose your mindset and what you put into your mind. Affirmations. I read scripture daily, right? I love to read Proverbs every day, a proverb a day, right? What you feed your mind, you get to control your mindset. Last is who you surround yourself with. So I call it the 3-foot circle. Who do you let into that circle? Are they pulling you down, or are they lifting you up? So in your business, think about the people that you have. You often hear that phrase, you're the sum of the 5 closest people to you. Who are those 5 people that are in your life? Are they wanting you to win, or could they be indifferent about you winning? Or could they even be people that are in your world that are hoping that you don't win? Right? Find those people. You get to choose who you surround yourself with. Right? So move on from those that aren't helping you and serving your life, and move towards those people that are there wanting you to win. You've got great leaders there at KW Woodlands. Go to them, surround them, put those people into your life. All right, so now that we know what we can control, is we have to have a schedule. And that's the biggest challenge right now that I see, is that agents, business owners, they're just off schedule. You know, they're working from home. So they're waking up when they want to, they're going to bed when they want to. Work may fit in the day, it may not. They aren't functioning from a schedule. So if I were to encourage you to take anything away from this today, is start working with a schedule. And I'm going to share with you what some top agents are using across the country using the acronym of LIFE. And by the way, if you're taking notes, I'm going to give you a link here at the end that you'll be able to go to and just fill out a quick form, and you'll be able to get all my notes from the presentation today. So you can write down notes. I always know that helps me remember things, but if you're not the note taker, you'll have access to those at the end. All right, so the first thing you have to put on your schedule is keeping the end in mind. And what I mean by that is, what time do you go to bed? That starts everything. And the reason it starts everything is because if you don't go to bed by a certain time, you're not going to wake up by a certain time. So the first thing is start with the end in mind, schedule your bedtime, and then obviously the next thing is going to be your wake up time. Right? You know what times those are based on the number of hours of sleep that you need for your body to be fresh. So I coach people that they need 4 hours of sleep. That's all they need. I'm on the other extreme. I'm like a baby when it comes to sleeping. I need 8 hours of sleep. So I have to, knowing that and understanding that, I have to plan my day accordingly. And if we know what time we're going to bed and we know what time we're waking up, then we know where to fit the rest of our day, and that's in between. Things you cannot move. All right, so I know I'm talking to agents of Keller Williams, the Woodlands, and Magnolia today. You are not going to get a phone call from Gary Keller. It's going to be like, hey, Gary, or hey, Tina, I'm sorry, he didn't talk to himself. That would be weird. Hey, Tina, this is Gary, and I just wanted to know, would Mega Camp this week work for you? It's just not going to happen, right? It is what it is. And if you're going to Mega Camp or you're going to family reunion, I know they're moving Mega Camp, or I heard might be moving it online. But if you do go to those places, they're not going to move it for you. So schedule those on your calendar. What are some other things? And the personal side of it is vacation. Go schedule your vacation. Now, it might be getting moved around like my cruise is right now. We had a cruise booked out in June of 2021 that was canceled yesterday. And so we had to move that time around. Yet, if we don't plan for that vacation, it probably isn't going to happen. So go put those things that you cannot move on your calendar. Like my coaching clients know that they have an appointment every single week, same time, it ain't gonna move. It's scheduled, it's a rock. Put those things on your calendar. If you got a team meeting you wanna go to, put it on your calendar. Tina's not gonna say, hey, when do y'all think would be the best time to have a team meeting? Or Denise is not gonna come back and say, hey, I've got 40 classes I've gotta fit into the schedule. How would you like me to arrange it? She would go absolutely crazy, right? It is what it is. So put it on your calendar. It's not going to move. All right, so here comes the acronym of LIFE. So if you're taking notes and you're writing these down, just write the word LIFE vertically. Notice I haven't said anything about lead generation. So this might be a little bit different strategy than you might hear. And the reason I believe that this is a better strategy is that if you don't have all these things in alignment, your work is going to be out of alignment. All right. So I haven't even talked about work yet. So love is the first one. Schedule time with those important relationships that you want to serve. If you're married, your spouse, your kids, your friends, the people that you love, make sure you're putting, and you might be like, Jeremy, that doesn't need to go on the calendar. That's personal. Look, if it doesn't happen, like my coach said, is how long will you stay married? He's just being honest. He's like, I don't see your spouse on the calendar. Where is your spouse? Make sure that time is allocated, or you'll look back and you'll be like, I was probably 6 months ago when I look back and I was like, we haven't gone on a date night in over a month. Put those times on your calendar. Those things come first. Improvement. Schedule 20 to 30 minutes a day to work on yourself. Now for me, that looks like I'm scheduling time to watch a YouTube video on something I don't know. It may or may not be business related. Might be reading a book, might be reading scripture, it might be doing meditation, might be doing affirmations, but doing things to help yourself improve. If you're not growing, you're dying. And applying that to your business, if you're not growing in your business is going to die. It's going to die on the vine. Right now, it might look great. Give it 6 months if you're not working on yourself and see what happens. You don't want to be the business that dies on the vine. Make sure you're working to improve yourself. Fitness and nutrition. This is mine this year, right? I've got to make sure that it's on the calendar. If you don't have it on the calendar, what does Gary say? It doesn't exist, okay? So make sure fitness, schedule those workouts in, make sure that you're eating well throughout the day, make sure that you're eating for fuel, not always for fun, but make sure you also schedule in those fun days, okay? Don't have to eat good all the time, just most of the time. Have some days though where you can go splurge. All right, so now we're getting into business, and that's the economic. So reviewing your goals daily, and I'm going to show you a business tool that many of y'all might be familiar with here on building a business plan. Make sure you're scheduling your business activities on your calendar, right? So everything that you do to help generate business requires time. If it requires time, it's got to be on the calendar. If it's not on the calendar, you're not going to get it done. So this may look very familiar to y'all. Jay Papasan's a good friend of mine. The one thing, we're going to talk about creating your GPS, your destiny, your destination, right? So when we think about GPS, we think first of all about our phone. You know, our phone helps us get to locations. I don't know what I would do without Google Maps. I just put in an address, it tells me where to go. You know, back in the day, I remember getting out the key maps, and that was extremely difficult for those that were in real estate at that time. You'd go to the gas station to buy one of those, and they were absolutely confusing. Yet now we have a phone that can get us from one place to the other. And the great thing about that is if we get off course, it tells us that we're off course and it brings us back to where we need to be. That's what the GPS is. So what is the GPS? It's first establishing a single goal. So I want you to create one goal for yourself in your business. Now, a lot of times real estate agents will go to money. Like, I want to make $200,000 this year. So I want you to think about it a little bit differently and reconstruct the goal. I don't want it to be necessarily about money. If you know that it takes you to sell 40 homes to make $200,000, restate the goal as I want to help 40 families with their real estate needs in 2020. Right? Because, and the reason for that is that it's more of an emotional goal, right? And if you're going to go share a goal with somebody that is not in this industry, and you say, I want to make $200,000 this next year, that's my goal, what are they going to think of you? Right? Now, if I said I'm going to go help 40 families in this next year achieve home ownership, that's a different goal. That's something you can bring people along with you. Okay, so establish that single goal. Then you're going to have 3 priority areas. So think of these as like levers or buckets. These are the things that are going to help drive you toward your goal. So in the area of real estate, that might be open houses, that might be calling on expireds, that might be using social media. Whatever those levers are for you, those would be your priority areas. Figure out what those are for you. Not 5 of them, not 10 of them, not 1 of them. 3 of them. And the reason you don't want to have so many is that you're not going to do any of them very well. And you don't want 1 of them because you need to have a mix in there. Okay. So 3 priority areas to help you towards that one goal. Underneath each one of those priority areas, you need 5 strategies. Now these strategies need to be specific and they need to be measurable. So if it's not specific or measurable, like I'm going to make 10 calls a day, right? That's very specific. That's very measurable, right? That is a strategy. Making calls is not a strategy, if that makes sense. So make sure that it's specific and that you can actually measure those things. And then with your goal, again, just reiterating, make sure that it's not about units, not about volume. tie it to, I want you to make it about people, right? Now, when you build this out, it's going to be approximately 1 page, 1.5 pages. If it's longer than that, you're probably not going to follow it. Make several copies of it, put it up in different places in your home, put it on your computer, put it up on the mirror in the bathroom, put it on the refrigerator if you're doing a GPS and it involves working out and eating the right foods, right? Put it in places to remind you of what you're working towards each and every day. So part of your economic, that LIFE, the E part, the economic, should be reviewing your GPS every single day. All right, so the win one, and this is mentioned in the class description, a tool that's going to be for you to really focus in on the wins in your life and in your business. Right now, especially right now, with everything that's going on, we're all under the pressure cooker, is sometimes it's hard to see a win. So this win one is a tool to help you really get focused in on the things that will help you win each day. Now, going to make it really simple. It's going to be the same acronym of life. So love, improvement, fitness, and economic. So my examples here, this is my actual win one. A little bonus tip is you can go into the notes section of your phone and you can build this list out and put little circles next to it so you can check them, and then send it to somebody that keeps you accountable. If it's a coach, if it's another colleague, whoever it is, just send it to them each day so there's a little bit of accountability with it. But for love, it's saying affirmation in the morning and evening to my wife. So twice a day, because her love language, if you read the book Love Languages, is affirmation. For my kids, their love language is time. So making sure that 20 minutes with each of them doing something that they like every single day with them. Improvement, reading scripture 10 minutes a day, reading a self-improvement book 30 minutes a day, watching YouTube. One thing to learn something. I watched one the other day about how much elephants eat. They eat between 100 and 200 pounds of grass a day. So that useless knowledge will probably help me win Jeopardy. So you never know. Our Trivial Pursuit. Fitness and nutrition. 1 physical activity every day. Drink 1 gallon of water every day, and then cut sugar to a minimum. And then economic. Again, the first one should be review your daily GPS. I write 10 personalized cards a day. 2 to brokers. I do webinars. I do direct messages through Facebook. So if I know I do all these things, it's not everything, but I know if I do these things every single day, I win. Now, there's going to be some days that I don't hit them all, and that's okay as long as I got a majority of them. So it's kind of like going to grade school. You get 7 out of 10, still passing, right? And then you just work the next day towards getting them all. So just know that, don't have the pressure too that every single day I have to hit every single one. There'll be days for one reason or another you just can't get it. And the last thing is making a commitment and accountability. Is now that you know the 4 things you can control, developing that schedule, creating your GPS and having that one goal that you're driving towards, and looking at those wins, even the small wins every single day. Now all you have to do is make a commitment. Don't dip your toe in the water. It's time to jump into the pool, right? Especially right now, there's so many opportunities. I've got coaching clients that are just killing it. I have one coaching client right now. I think she has like 30 pendings. Okay. There are some amazing, amazing opportunities right now because there's a lot of people that went to the sidelines and they're staying there. So it's not about making a commitment to somebody. It's about making a commitment to yourself. Those things that you've laid out here, the things that you can control, the goal. That's not anybody else's goal. It's your goal. And those things that you need to do to win every single day. Be committed to yourself. It's like signing a contract. You're signing a contract with yourself. Don't break it. Jim Rohn, I love Jim Rohn. He says your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. So if you feel like you're in that place today where you're not moving, you're not seeing that breakthrough in your business, it's probably been a while since you've made an attempt at changing. So make that change today, and it could be a small change. I've seen I've seen people double, triple their business just by making one small change. It doesn't take a lot. You don't have to change who you are as a person, by the way. Just change maybe some of the activities that you're doing. All right. How to connect with me. This is probably the most important part of the presentation. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm everywhere. You'll find me. Just type Jeremy Williams, Red Hawk Coaching, or Jeremy Williams Coach. You'll find me. There's my contact information there. And I'll also have it on this form right here. So to get all my notes and a couple bonus tips, that's part of what we talked today. Just go to redhawkcoaching.com/thrive. There'll be a little form right there. Fill that out and you'll get an instant download with all the notes. All right. So Janice and Tina, we've got a few minutes. Would it be okay if we brought in the agents that are on the call?
Sure.
Awesome. All right. So let's see who we got. We got 4 attendees. Here we go. I'm going to promote. This takes me 1 second. All right. Oh, I know this guy. I don't know if I want to let him on. Scott McAllister.
Think about it.
It's dangerous. All right. I think I've got everybody in here. Okay. So I just want to open it up to the group here. Thank you, Janice and Tina, for making this opportunity possible. And I want to open it up to those that were on the call with any questions you might have, or maybe a struggle that you're dealing with because of everything going on. And not everybody at once.
I think a big struggle for people is for them to develop a good schedule while they're at home. I mean, it took me a little while to kind of get used to working from home because I hadn't been working for a while. So, then all of a sudden I had to get up and be dressed and all that, although I don't look it today. But most days I'm up and at my desk by 8 o'clock for the most part. So I think that is I think that's a challenge for a lot of people, actually.
Well, and not to get into politics or policies, if you want to talk to me about that, I'd love to offline. Yet, the world is telling us not to work in some cases.
Yeah.
And so when we're hearing that noise and those messages that are going around, we kind of we kind of succumb to it. And the next thing it's, I'll sleep until 9 o'clock today, or, I really want to watch this movie I want to watch Saving Private Ryan for the 8th time. You know what I mean? But you start at 11:30 at night, so you don't hit the bed till 2 or 3 in the morning, right? And so we get into this place where we just kind of we relax and we're outside of those typical norms that we have established. I love to study behavior, and we talk about the one thing and the 66-day challenge to form a habit. On average, 66 days to form these new habits. Well, think about it. We've been under the pressure cooker for longer than 66 days. So we are establishing, whether we like it or not, we are establishing some new habits. Now, some of those might serve us, some of those might not. So we got to check that, and the schedule helps with that. Who else?
Richard says, my struggle is trying to lead generate, but remaining contactless.
Absolutely. Yeah. So remaining contactless is social media. I'll give you one tool. Go out and use it. It works really well. It's 50, 25, and 1. Write those numbers down, 50, 25, and 1. And it's basically go out, do 50 likes, loves, whatever to different people on your social media. Go back and do 20 comments. Doesn't have to be the same people, but 20 comments. And they've got to be comments of value. It's not like, hey, I like blue too. Tell them why you like blue. And then 5 direct messages, and then 1 personal call or a text or something of that nature, a handwritten card, something that's more personal. I love doing the video text. Just taking a quick video on my phone, hit the send button, text it to them. So they get to see me as well. You can sit there and do that all day with your database. It's just shoot a video. Hey, it's Jeremy. Just wanted to check on you, see how you're doing. Let me know if you've got any plans with your real estate 2020. Let me know how I can help you and serve you today. Have a great one. Send, right? So there's a lot of things that we can do. We got to be really careful that we don't think that because if we choose to be that person that's contactless, is that there's not opportunities to lead generate. We just have to think about it differently, right? We have to position ourselves a little bit differently, and that's not a bad thing. And what's going to be really cool is, I say the newish basics because I don't ever think we're going to go back to the exact same way we were before we went into the pandemic. I think in the end, my vision and what I see is going to be some sort of hybrid.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of the things that we're establishing now that we don't have contact with people will probably still continue even after we get back to the new normal. I hate that word, the new normal. All right. Yeah. But there'll be some sort of hybrid in there. So when you're working on lead generation and you're doing that now, and you're positioning yourself, don't think that it might change that much when we go back. Does that help?
Yes, thank you. Just to clarify, though, your comments, are they more directed towards my sphere or anybody on social media?
Anybody. I meet people every day, and I've formed some of the best vendor partner relationships I've ever made, and I have never been in the presence of that person. And it all started with social media. It all started with, hey, my name's Jeremy. What you're doing looks really interesting. And it turns into a whole conversation. There's a strategy to it, right? I coach on the strategy. There's a strategy. You're not going to go and ask them to buy something right away. It's about relationship building, and it just takes some time. But you got to do it every day. Does that help, Richard?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Good. Scott, you look like you're just itching with a question there. I can tell.
No. I mean, you and I talk on a fairly regular basis already, so I think I've asked my question limit for this week.
Yeah, you've exceeded your limit.
That'll surprise some people.
Not me.
All right.
All right, I've got Kristen and Diana. Do either of y'all have a question?
The question I had when you were talking about the 50 likes,
Okay.
Can you explain that again?
Yeah, so going in and just, let's say you use Facebook and you go in, and as you're going through, you're picking, and there's a strategy to this. Because first of all, Facebook the way the algorithm's set up, it's only going to show the people that you interact with on a regular basis. So if there are some people that you want to interact with that aren't showing up necessarily all the time in your feed, that might be the one you go and like, right? And you're going to do 50 of those a day. And what that does is it starts triggering the algorithm to where those people show up a little more often in your feed than not.
Okay.
All right. And then the 20 is I'm going to go and find 20 different posts. Same thing. I may be strategic with how I pick these, but I'm going to leave a value added comment there.
So I've been doing that. With kind of related fields. Like I've been going into like interior design or companies that would deal with real estate, or so that I can start to develop a pipeline of contacts for my clients eventually down the road. And I've been liking their stuff. Now they're coming and liking what I post.
So make sure you go beyond that though. So take it to a comment next. And then you might even take it to that next level where it goes down to 5. And now you're sending them a private message.
Okay.
Sending them a message, or maybe you're using the video text at that point, where you're just saying, hey, it's Diana. I just wanted to touch base with you. I've been following you and we've been engaging here on social media. Find what you're doing is really interesting. I'd love to, right now, I say I'd love to grab a Zoom call with you. And people get that. And then we jump on Zoom and we schedule a time, jump on Zoom, and then the magic happens. So, it's one of those things where you're tricking the algorithm to get the people in front of you. You're adding value constantly. And then as you build that relationship, it's like you have the permission now to go to that next level. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Kristen, do you have a question?
Yep. Thanks for your time, and the social media tip was really helpful.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So again, check out my website, redhawkcoaching.com/thrive. You'll get all my notes there. that we covered today. I will be recording this and sending it out to your great leaders. Tina, Janice, thank you. Do you have anything to add to wrap this up?
No, I thought it was great information. I think it's timely, and I think we all kind of felt like we were getting out of this craziness, and now we're back in it again. So I think I think it's very timely. I think we're all are kind of sometimes because of everything kind of shutting down again, it almost feels like we're starting over. We're back to square one again a little bit. So no, I think it was very timely. Thank you, Jeremy, for sharing with us.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. It's great to see Diana on. She is a new Ignitee. We're in our 3rd week, and she's up to here with information right now, y'all. It is a tidal wave. We got to talk to Kristen earlier this month. She was our great guest for one of our meetings. It was wonderful. It's so nice to see you, Snacks. Haven't seen you in a while. And Richard, he's always getting that information. He is always Johnny on the spot. Thanks for joining us, Richard.
Awesome. So I'll leave you with this. All the great information you have, go execute. And y'all have a great day. Thank you. And again, appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.
All right. Take care.